A new move by Beijing to assert influence over Hong Kong has been met with anger. All of Hong Kong's pro-democracy lawmakers have resigned in solidarity with 4 of their colleagues who were accused of promoting independence and expelled from the Legislative Council.
Together we stand!
Together we stand!
Hong Kong and oil!
Hong Kong and oil!
Earlier, China's legislature passed a patriotism resolution allowing the removal of lawmakers who challenge Beijing's role. Hong Kong's pro-democracy politicians say it amounts to the end of the one country, two systems principle in place since the 1997 handover from the UK to China.
Today, the decision made by the central government simply say that all the separation of power will be taken away and all the power will be centralized in the chief executive. Of course, chief executive is the puppet of the central government. So as a result, that is the basic argument why we say today is the end of the one country, two system.
Al Jazeera's Divya Gopalan has more now from Hong Kong.
That was a very emotional press conference, some of them announcing the resignation with tears in their eyes, saying those resignation letters will be in the hands of the government tomorrow, which essentially will deem Hong Kong's Legislative Council without any opposition voices anymore. They say they're doing this because what Beijing's actions have essentially done is rendered Hong Kong's government ineffective in making its own decisions. The fact that Beijing can essentially oust lawmakers who are deemed as unpatriotic or for any reason that it may like, essentially makes them almost ineffectual. Their whole position is already under siege, and they feel that Hong Kong no longer can have a democratic voice within the government. They made it very clear to say, though, that although they are quitting the government, they are not quitting the fight for democracy in Hong Kong. But many questions still remain. Once they leave, what kind of an opposition can remain in Hong Kong, given the fact that Hong Kong now has this national security law where any kind of dissent or protests are not allowed? So this seemed to be the last bastion of those opposition or critical voices, particularly within the government, that can represent people in Hong Kong. And now that no longer will exist after their resignations are accepted, after that mass walkout happens in Hong Kong's government.
Claudia Mo is a Hong Kong pro-democracy politician. She says the opposition lawmakers had no choice but to resign.
We need to quit in protest against this Beijing rule by decree. I mean, this is not even a rule by law now, it's rule by decree. They order whatever they want. And 2, we cannot simply afford to stay on because minus our 4 colleagues who were ousted this afternoon, the 15 of us simply don't have the minimum number to protect ourselves from being unseated eventually one by one by the Beijing type. And so this legislature is so full of fakeness, we just cannot carry on, and we need to support our colleagues who are being ousted, telling anyone who's not patriotic enough to keep off politics. You have no place here. And so I would, to be frightfully frank, I think in the term, it's possible that things will be in the doldrums, but then you do not underestimate Hong Kong people, especially the young. Their anguish is so pure, so raw. The things will have a rebound eventually, because you need to believe in humanity.